Hello, welcome folks to Land Tamer Stream. It's Sunday night. We're talking some networking, some ipv6, and our progress here in the journey towards the CCIE routing and switching certification. So hope you're having a good Sunday evening. I'm wrapping things up here. I've been studying quite a bit today. This is our agenda tonight. It's going to be a brief vlog with an update, a couple of, at least one good link, good meat chunk. This is still the same Hubble image from yesterday, the coma cluster, as it's called, 1,000+ galaxies drawn together by magnetic force. Amazing stuff, as always. But yeah, just go from where I'm at on my progress. I did get into a little bit on ipv6. I had some interaction on Instagram because I posted early this morning actually, let me see if I can pull it up. I posted a screen cap of a Wireshark capture, and it was about, do you know what address this is for ipv6? What is the source address? And I think I have to do it here on Chrome. I don't always keep these in my photo archive for very long because I have so many of them. So I just usually go back, when I want to look at them, I go back to Twitter. Sorry, either Twitter or, yeah, here it is. So anyway, I posted this. I'm like, can you name this source address and multicast protocol without looking it up? And as you can see, the source is : and the destination is FFO2::1. So I got some responses here, and I found myself in a situation where I had to think, well, based on the information that's here, could these responses be correct? So I had to do some labbing, which I did. I did some labbing, and I posted this into the pcaps folder on GitHub. So the GitHub link is there. But on the packet captures, I've got a new ipv6 icmp, and that kind of led me down the road a little bit of just validating these different icmp6 packet types, which are used quite a bit, right? In the boot up of a router and bringing an interface online and getting its address, if it's using dhcp, etc. So I thought, well, I better make a chart of that, which I did. It is also here out on GitHub under the references notes, ipv6. I created this message types. It's very simple right now. I'm going to expand as we go, but it has what I have observed in the wild, not just what I've seen out there, right? But just the pcaps I did today. Essentially the answer was, now I have not observed this in the wild, but I'm going to put it here. The source address for this particular post, where did you go? So this turned out to be its cutoff here intentionally, but as you can see, it says here destination is ipv6 neighbor discovery. Well, what this really was icmp packet type of 130. Multicast listener query. In fact, the URL is here, so you can verify this by looking at the URL. But that's what it was. So it turns out, though, that I found several other instances. I didn't know, I did a Google search yesterday, pcaps for this particular source address. Yeah, multicast listener query. It got a little involved there. Again, I had to do quite a bit of research to verify before I answered these folks. But this is the ipv6 unknown address. And oftentimes it is used for certain traffic types, and it can occur, as was suggested, when a router first boots and it's initializing an interface, initializing the router. It may not yet know, or even not necessarily a router, it could be a ipv6 host, right? It could be a Windows PC. And it does not yet know its address, so it could in some cases use the what's called unknown address. I know my destination address, like you see them here. There were a lot when I turned on multicast and these multicast listener reports. This is definitely using : as the source, the unknown address. Here we go. So yeah, source is this, all zeros, which : is the easiest way to represent that, right? And FFO2 : 16, in this case, ipv6 multicast. So this is a multicast listener report, right? So yeah, you do see it being used, and I didn't have to look too far to actually find this in the wild. I found it on my own computer. Neighbor solicitation, I saw it there. One person said, oh, this looks like a client who's booting up the router, and it's using Slack or autoconfig, right, to get its address, and it doesn't have it yet. And they said, well, it should be type 134, I think they said. This is 135, but it went to, on my computer, this may just be the image I'm using, FFO2 : 1 : FF00:1. I wasn't expecting that. And I think that's indicating maybe multicast IPv6 prefix and a multicast Ethernet address. Maybe that's what that's doing there. I think that's what that's doing. Yeah, because the Ethernet destination is IPv6 multicast 3333 FF00:01. So that's putting the MAC address in there as well. It was just a very interesting lab to do. And again, it was my own lab that I built. I just picked some random IPv6 IPs to put on there and sort of play with this and learn. But these are the ones I observed today. 130, multicast listener query. 133 was router solicitation. Destination FFO2 : 2. 134 is router advertisement. 135 neighbor solicitation. 136 neighbor advertisement. And 143 multicast listener report. So we're going to continue to build on this, but this is very important for learning and getting familiar. You know, my whole weekend has been IPv6, right? And it's been very productive. So those are my new notes, new PCAP that is out there on GitHub. Welcome to check those out. And this is where I'm on networklessons.com. So actually, a good bit of today was spent on this workbook. I talked about this workbook yesterday. And I got towards the end, and a lot of the exercises became somewhat repetitive. And that is the subnetting, which is good, is worthy of repetition. There were some good notes here on page 49. And then I went through this. It was nice. It was define the following IPv6 terms. And you had to guess what type of IPv6 address is this. This is a good exercise to do. And there were two I got wrong. This is kind of throwing me off. It has this, the backslash here instead of forward/, which I'm used to. And it said these were IPv4 embedded. I got a little tripped up with that. I'm still not totally clear on that. I mean, I know how that works. Unless the embedded just happens to be... Yeah, I guess this could work. Anyway, this was good. I, of course, had the answers in the instructor's version of the workbook like I talked about yesterday on the link from yesterday. So good stuff. Went through that. I got back to networklessons.com. And right now I'm going through that. And I'm about to do a lab, I think, on prefix delegation. But I'm trying to get through this. I probably will not finish this today. I was hoping to finish IPv6 addressing this weekend, 3.1b. But this will probably go into tomorrow as well. Then next week, I'm going to focus on layer 3 multicast. So this is going to be interesting. We've got RPF. We've got PIM. And MSDP. I anticipate this taking a couple weeks, to be honest. I've got 50 days. And, maybe we'll try to get this down to, 10 days. We'll try to get through this because there's a lot left. And I don't know about the 50 days, folks. That's where I'm at right now. We'll see. I'll let you know in about 40 days if we're going to keep with that schedule. or not for the written. But anyway, that's what I did today. So summarization, prefixes, dhcp will probably be covered tonight. And then we got our trivia question. IPv4 multicast. How many addresses can you list out of, say, 12, 13, 14? So let's see what you got. 001, that's all multicast hosts, right? All multicast routers. This is all OSPF routers. 6, all DR OSPF. Let's see, 9 is going to be RIP. EIGRP. This is going to be 40013 is PIM. I need to think about that one. Yeah, I think it's PIM routers. 224.0.0.18 HSRP. Man, I think that's all I've got right here. ISIS should be 8, right? Okay, let's check those. Let's go to our... I have a shortcut here to the written drills. This may not work. Yeah, because I moved things around. I restructured on the GitHub site. The reference notes, I created some subdirectories here. So this is starting to get a little difficult to get through. So if you have a repo of that, just pull it again and you'll get the updates. And I have in here the new, I need to create a link for this. Copy link to clipboard. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Yeah, I want to make an alias. Put this on the desktop. Written drills. So there's a few I'm missing here that go to the answers page. Multicast. EIGRP, PIM. Okay, I got that right. 18 is VRRP. Okay. VRRP, I got that one wrong. I got 22. IGMP. V3. 39 and 40. Yeah, I should remember that. That is RP announce, RP discovery, right? Yep, and then 102. Okay. 1 and 102, right? Is that correct? Let me check that. We'll just Google that bad boy. 00102. Okay. IGMP. We go to Wikipedia. That's fine. That works. It works. There are a lot more, but these are the ones that I have. Oh, 19 to 21. That was wrong, isn't it? Okay, this one was wrong. ISIS. 5, 6, 9, 10, 13. Okay, 19 through 21 is ISIS over IP. That's over IP, though. 251 multicast DNS. I see that a lot on my network. I've got Mac devices. There's a 0.1. Okay. All right, so that got us pretty close. But good practice nevertheless. I think what I'm going to do on the trivias, guys, folks, I'm just going to bring those up. I'm not going to do like one for tomorrow. Tomorrow when I come on, I'll have another one. I'll just pick it and we'll just do it on stream, right, for the trivia. This is a good meat chunk I have for the day. And this is, let's see here. I'm not familiar with this page, hackernoon.com, or this site, but there are, it wants me to sign in. I don't know about that. But yeah, this is part one, and this is a pretty good explanation because there are some, Git is pretty basic, but there are some scenarios where it can get a little confusing, especially when you've made changes to your local copy of the repo and someone else may have made changes. That was happening with me this week. I was working on coding through a repository, and several of us were working on it at the same time. So there was some coordination as far as, making sure we got our changes up and didn't delete them. Not that we would delete them, but anyway, coordinating that so that everyone has the updates. And that's about it, folks. This is my Sunday. It's a pretty good Sunday. I spent a lot of time with ipv6. Got to do a few little labs and some pcaps, as I mentioned. This is very helpful, and I'm feeling much more familiar. By the way, I've been doing some Wireshark captures of my computers here on my LAN, my local home network, after switching to ipv6. And the first one I did when I first got ipv6 going, I saw very little traffic that was ipv6, but that was just a very short window, a very small sample, as it were, statistical sample. I've done some additional since then, and it's surprising. There is quite a bit still of ipv6 traffic. One sample I did earlier today, of course, had Netflix running, which uses ipv6, and I was like 80% of the traffic was ipv6. I still saw some IPv4 addresses being used by Google and Apple. So I guess it depends on the service that you're using, whether it's fully IPv6 or still has to rely on IPv4. I don't know what those distinctions are yet. I would do some reverse lookups on some of those IPv4 addresses. They're going to Google and Apple. So, but still, a lot of the traffic, once you convert your network and you have reachability to the global internet or IPv6, or a dual stack, you get a lot of traffic to use IPv6, which is awesome. So, because that gives you more practice when I look at the Wireshark, right, at the pcaps. So, anyway, thanks for the support, folks. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate all support of the community and the responses on Instagram, and the engagement I get on Twitter is great. I always appreciate that. You can follow us there, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, of course, and here on Twitch. Give us a follow if you have not already. And you can subscribe to us if you have an available Twitch Prime account. I don't know if you know, but if you have Amazon Prime, you get a free Twitch Prime sub account that you can use and renew once a month. Feel free to use that here if you have one available. We appreciate it. Thanks so much for stopping by. I appreciate all the support. We'll see you back here tomorrow. We continue the grind and sending only the good non-malforeign bits in the proper order to you all who are studying for your certifications. So wishing you the best, wishing you all good luck, and we shall see you back here tomorrow on Land Tamer Stream. Have a good night.